Hey everybody, been quite a while since I've put a video on. My old phone died and I lost all content to my old channel, so I made a new channel with my new phone. So whoever was all subscribed previously, go ahead and resubscribe to this channel for more MRE reviews. So what I got this time is an entire case of genuine military MREs. This case is made entirely by Sapaco out of Mullins, South Carolina. This is case A. This is, from what I could tell, the newest and freshest case available on the surplus market. All these meals are very fresh still. They're really just exactly one year old this month from being packed. So you can see on the box it says U.S. government property. Commercial resale is unlawful, which just basically means that the enlisted soldiers that get these issued to them can't bring them back and sell them, or all that fun stuff. Once these cases get to a certain age, they go to the surplus market, and that's where you'll find them on like Amazon and eBay and flea markets and just wherever. But this case here this case weighs 20 pounds. You can see right there the WT is abbreviated for weight, 20.6, so it's like a little over 20 and a half pounds for 12 meals, which is pretty heavy, pretty darn heavy for 12 MREs. These are pretty heavy duty meals. These come with a lot of stuff in them. I don't know if I can get the box to come down. Oops. Okay. I'll try to get this to where you can see without destroying everything, but this date right here, which is upside down to y'all, it says it's a join date. This is 7/7/2/83. That's the pack date of this case, which is 283rd day of 2017. Western Frontier is the company that gets these cases from the military, as far as I know, to put them onto the surplus commercial market. So you can see it says A case right here. 2020 is Western Frontier's inspection date of this case, which the inspection dates are always 3 years approximately after the pack date. And as you can see, your other very vitally important item for this case is this little guy right here. This is called your Tti Sticker, and your Tti stands for time temperature indicator. And what will happen is, this is how the military tells if these cases are fit to eat for the soldiers. And what they look for is this inner circle will turn black when it's out of date. It'll start off turning like a brown when it's getting some age, and of course the darker it gets, the further out of date it goes, and the worse off the condition of the meals inside are. This one, however, as you can tell, is still bright orange, just as orange as the rest of the stickers. So that tells the military, and it tells me that these meals are still fresh, ready to go. Set everything back up here that I knocked down. I'm trying to maneuver that big heavy box. That 20-pound box, as you can tell, is not easy to maneuver with one hand. That's why I knocked everything down. This case cost me, it was like right around $78, $79. Shipped to my door off of Amazon, which, for that fresh of MREs ain't really that bad for 12 meals. And I'll go ahead and pull these out and show you the meals, the meals and the menus that comes in this case. This case is so new that a lot of these menus are the newer, updated menus from the previous Case A menus. One of the menus that I know changed from previous to what's in this was the spinach fettuccine. That was not in this case, and I know for a fact it used to be part of Case A, which is what I ordered. And so I guess due to unpopularity, Sapaka decided to change the menu out to something more palatable to the soldiers. I guess a lot of people didn't like it. So I'll pull, let's see. What is this one? Okay. This is menu number 1, chili with beans. That's a very hearty meal. I know in the wintertime this would be like the perfect MRE to eat in the wintertime. Everybody loves chili and beans in the wintertime. But as you can tell, it's the brown bag MREs. I don't see that changing anytime soon, as far as I can tell. It's all you can tell there's the Department of Defense seal on the bag. See if I can pull it up here to show you that it is. Yeah, there it is. Sapako, Mullins, South Carolina, U.S. government property. All that good stuff. All these meals have the flameless ration heater, and I'll set these off to the side so that I can have room to pull them all out, because there's quite a substantial amount of food in this case. Now here's menu number 2, beef shredded in barbecue sauce. That's going to be interesting. I don't know how their barbecue sauce is going to go. I've never had this menu before. This might be one of the updated menus in this case. I'll have to do some research to figure out what they changed from the previous year to this year. Or maybe maybe one of y'all on there could maybe fill me in on what they've changed if you know. So that's menu number 2. That's another very hearty meal. I can't wait to try all these. They're going to be good. I can tell. All right. Here's menu number. See if I can get it to show up here. Here's menu number 3: chicken noodles and vegetables and sauce. What the sauce is, I'm going to guess it's like a chicken brothy type sauce, but the way military lingo goes, your guess would be as good as mine. To me, it just sounds like it's just a good, hearty, chunky chicken noodle soup type name, but either way you look at it, this has got to be a pretty good meal. Yeah, that's menu number 3. Alright, I know for a fact that every USGI that's ever been in any conflict in the past 50 years is going to recognize this menu right off the bat, because this is the longest serving menu of MREs. This goes all the way back to sea rations in the Vietnam War, probably even back to Korean War. I don't know. This is an old menu item, and it's so popular and it's such a good menu that they refuse to get rid of it and change it out. They just keep running with it. So this is the good old classic menu number 4: spaghetti with beef and sauce. Tried and true. Everybody who's served in the past 50 years, I guarantee you, has eat this meal right here. So that's the good old spaghetti with beef and sauce, tried and true. I'm surprised it's still in service. I figured by now people would be burnt out on it, but I guess apparently not. It seems to be a winner in everybody's book, so they just keep it going. Let's see. Next in line here, we got a little bit of a change up in the bag design. Sapaco did. They came out with this design here. This is menu 5: chicken chunks, white cooked. I have no idea what that's going to be like. I've never had any of these menus in the military rations except menu number 4, of course. I mean, I think everybody's had that menu before by now. But chicken chunks, white cooked. You got to love that military lingo. The way they describe their menus is pretty hilarious at times. So that's menu number 5 with the altered bag design. I'll set it off to the side here. This is menu number 6, beef taco. And I know what a lot of people's probably thinking is, oh good, they got a Taco Bell style menu in there. Well, that might be true. It might be like Taco Bell, and it might be completely different. I've never had it. As far as I know, beef taco is a really new menu to Sapaco. I don't think this one's been out very long. Maybe 2 years at the most so far. Maybe not even that long. But they just keep coming out with these new menus, and pretty soon you might even have a Thanksgiving dinner menu before long, or something like that. But yeah, this is beef taco. I know everybody's going to want to put their hot sauce on that one and really jazz it up and make it zingy. Alright, next in line we have menu number 7. This is brisket entree, gravy with seasoned beef brisket slices. Best I can tell, what that's probably going to be like is it's probably going to be like probably kind of like those sliced beef briskets you get in restaurants. Usually they come slathered in some kind of a gravy, like a beef gravy or something. It's really good. I mean, usually when you get that, you want to go back for seconds and thirds if it's at like a Golden Corral or anything like that. But yeah, beef brisket, I don't think you could go wrong with that one either. I'm thinking that's a pretty new menu item too. I don't know, you know, a lot of these menus are so new, I don't think there's a whole lot of information on them yet. I think the military and the U.S. government is keeping a lot of these menus as far as their origin and how long they've been in service, probably still under wraps yet. They don't seem to be releasing a whole lot of information on they're that new of menus as far as I can tell. I might be wrong though. I mean, somebody out there might have more information than me on these. Menu 8 is meatballs and marinara sauce, and as far as I know, that is another classic menu item. I don't think it's as old as spaghetti with beef and sauce on menu 4, but I think it's been around for a few decades now. Meatballs and marinara sauce, that's a good hearty Italian dish. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that one either. And it's hard to tell. We get into these. It's hard to tell what all kinds of drinks and snacks are going to be in these too. I mean, like I said, these military MREs, they really load you up with some goodies, and they don't never disappoint as far as I can tell. And I think that's the last of that bag design. There's 4 bags of each design that Sapaco puts in these. Yeah, that was the last one. And then here is menu number 9, which is your next bag design. Beef stew. That's another classic menu item. Beef stew, I think, has been around for maybe 10 years. Maybe less, maybe more. But that's probably going to be a good wintertime meal. I'm surprised that these aren't in MCWs rather than these type of MREs. The MCW is a meal cold weather. They're in a white pouch and not instead of the tan. I would expect to see stuff like the beef stew and chili and beans and chicken noodle and stuff like that. Those would all make good MCW menus, I think. And I'm surprised that they made it into these, but maybe they just felt like letting everybody have a taste of everything. And here's menu number 10, chili and macaroni. Now, I know that's another classic dish that's been tossed around in MRE menus over the years. It's probably been on several different numbers, just being moved around as they add and remove other meals to try and meet the demands of the soldiers and what they're asking for. Chili and macaroni, that's, you can't really beat that. I mean, how could you go wrong with any of that? I know that's one of my... All of these is probably touch base on a lot of my favorite meals. You cook a lot of this stuff in the winter time or any time of the year. I mean, a lot of this stuff's good any time of the year. This is probably your one and only vegetarian type menu in this whole case, but this is menu 11. Vegetable crumbles with pasta and taco style sauce. I'm going to guess that that's probably going to be about like it's probably like a spicy Mexican style dish, kind of like your beef taco, but this is probably going to be like a little bit more convenient type of taco to eat. Like the other beef taco, it would probably come with tortillas and you make like actual little mini soft tacos. This right here is probably going to be like, it's just going to be in the pouch and you're just going to eat it out straight out, not making any like tacos with it. It's just like a loose taco in a pouch pretty much. The very last menu, last but not least in case A, is going to be menu 12, and that's your elbow macaroni and tomato sauce. Who could go wrong with that one either? That's probably another one of my favorite dishes I like. Elbow macaroni and tomato sauce is just one of those good hearty meals that if there's a big pot full of it, your chances are you're not going to stop with just one plate. You're going to go back for 2, 3, and 4 more plates, depending on how much you can eat. I mean, I know some people don't eat that much, but if I'm really hungry, I could probably eat about 3 good platefuls of that right there. But yeah, that's all the menus in case A. Like I said, this is probably your freshest that you can get as far as a MRE case right now on the surplus market. Of course, give it some time, and maybe by the end of this year, maybe there'll be some 2018 pack date cases coming out there. That's, chances. The way it seems to me that they do it is they give it a year from pack date before they decide that it's surplus. Sorry about that. Knocked you guys off. This is like really crazy. Yeah, I think they wait a year before they put their cases out onto the surplus market. It seems to me that that's what they're doing. I know I won't get these back in the box the way they had them packed, because I tell you what, they had these things packed in like sardines. Like, it was so perfect that when I broke the seal in the box, I mean, it looked like it was just a perfect square of individual MRE pouches, but the way they had it packed in so tight, it took the form of the box, and it was just like a perfect square. And of course, by the time you break it apart and get everything kind of moving around and stuff, you kind of lose the pattern that they created. But once they're opened up, I don't see anybody gonna keep them around for too awful long. I mean, you can store these. The entirety of the shelf life on these, as far as I can tell, is 5.5 years, which is what Western Frontier puts on them. And that's 5.5 years or 5.5 years from the pack date. And these have only been packed for one year total, almost to the exact. I mean, this is October, and they were packed in October of 2017. So yeah, they've literally only been packed for exactly a year. So that means they got 4.5 years shelf life left on them at 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Or you can freeze them. Now, if you put them in the freezer, you can probably keep them for 25 years, 30 years, and they'll still maintain freshness, decent freshness. I mean, you're probably going to get some obvious differences. It's probably not going to taste as good as fresh, but it's still going to be quite fresh enough to where it's edible in a pinch. As far as I know, freezing them will actually even preserve the FRHs in these, because everybody knows that after about 3 or 4 years, the FRHs kind of lose their power. Other than that, I think that's about all I got for this video. I just figured I'd put something out there from a new channel to get it going. Obviously, there's going to be some reviews coming of these menus that I feel are newer, that nobody's seen very much of. So yeah, get ready to see some of these reviews on these individual MRE meals. Probably the newer menus I'm going to probably do out of this case. The menus like beef stew and spaghetti and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen time and time over. As far as I know, they don't change much in them. It's all the same stuff. But I think the chicken noodle one, maybe the beef taco one, I might do a review on. Trying to think of anything else I want to tell y'all before I end the video out. Oh yeah. After this case is done, I'll probably get the B case and see what menus 13 through 24 hold. Since they've seemed to have changed the menus, like I said, since previous years, in this year, 13 through 24 menus in case B might be rather interesting. I'll have to get on there and look and see if it'll tell me what the updated menus are, because I looked at the menu on this case, the menu list, before I ordered it, and it was still showing stuff like the spinach, the creamy spinach, fettuccine and stuff like that, like the old menus. And when I got this case in and cracked it open and looked at everything, I was like, wow, they've done away with the spinach fettuccine, which in my opinion wasn't too bad of a deal, because I don't think I would like that one anyways. But they substituted it out. I'm going to guess they substituted it with one of the chicken meals, if I had to make an accurate guess. But anyway, I think that's going to be about it for this one. I've showed you everything to look for on the cases when you order. Check your pack date. Check your Tti sticker. Make sure it's still bright orange in the inner circle and not dark brown or black. As of right now, I'm, from paycheck to paycheck is probably the only way I'm going to be able to get stuff. Like I said, I bought this case with my own paycheck. Nobody sent this in to me. Nobody give this to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody, obviously, since I'm just having to restart over with my channel. But this entire case, there was one thing I forgot to mention about this, but this entire case was made by Sapaco, which is probably another new thing that they started doing, because it used to be when you get a case of genuine U.S. military MREs, the menus are going to be made by used to be made by three of the makers, which was, you had Sapaco, of course, then you had Mariqual, and then you had Warnick. And it used to be when you ordered a case, you got your meals were made by all three, just kind of mixed around. But now this whole case is made by Sapaco, which kind of threw me off a little bit, because I was expecting to see like 4 Sapacos and 4 Mariqual and 4 Warnick made MREs to make all 12, but all of it's made by Sapaco. I don't know if Mariqual and Warnick are still making cases. Where I ordered this off of Amazon, I think you're not really going to have a choice as to what brand MRE you're going to get. I think they're just going to randomly pick up a box of whatever case of menus you order, and you might get one of the three, but the whole case is going to be made by one company. one of the companies. But Sapaco, in my opinion, is probably Sapaco and Ameriqual are probably going to be your top two popular brands that MREs come from. Warnick. I think Warnick used to be popular years ago, but I don't know if they're still doing as much as they used to, or if they decided to just start making some of the individual components in the MREs, like the accessory packs or something like that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for you on this video. I did mention that the case was rather heavy for what it is. I mean, 20 pounds don't sound like a lot, but if you think of them soldiers out there when they unload a truckload of these cases of MREs to entire divisions of soldiers, after you handle about 200 or 300 cases of these, I'm fairly certain that it starts tearing down on you. Just maneuvering around this one case right here is pretty. I mean, it's not hard, but it's. If you don't watch what you're doing, throwing it into stuff, you can knock stuff over. I mean, it's heavier than a bowling ball. I mean, bowling ball's 16 pounds, so. But yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah. These cases are kind of hard to open. If you've never opened one up before, which this is the first genuine military case I've opened. I've had a few of the civilian MRE cases before, and they wasn't sealed together this as well as this one is. This case right here was hard to open, which being manufactured for the U.S. military by the U.S. government, contracted companies, they don't mess around when they go to put these cases together. I mean, these cases are sealed together really good, and the lid on it, I don't know if I could show you. I don't think I could show you very good, but like a normal box has the flap. The one flap, one over, it's usually glued down. Well, this one here, when you open it up, when you open that flap up, there's a secondary long flap that goes across the width of the box, and then it actually tucks down, and it's like one piece, and you have to really kind of destroy the box almost to get it open. I mean, they use some pretty heavy duty cardboard when they make these case boxes. And I think on one side of the box, if I can find it, I'll show you. It's not on that side. Well, it says on this one flap here. It says note water activated flameless ration heater. Bunch of numbers. Supplied in each MRE menu bag. So that's just for like shipping purposes from like the government to the military, because what it is flameless ration heaters are prohibited on planes unless they're still sealed in the original Neil bag. So the reasoning for that is you can actually make like a somewhat of a loud noise. It's not really a bomb, but it's just more or less like a scare type boom. By using the heating elements. If you put the heating element, well, I'm not going to really explain to you how to do it, but basically it involves a heating element and a water bottle, and of course a little bit of water, and if you seal it up right, it'll make a pretty nice boom. But yeah, it's not like a bomb, but it's just like it would scare the crap out of somebody on a plane, obviously. So that's all that's for. That's what that means. There's a bunch of writing on the side, kind of telling you how it was stored. I mean, when these set in military storage, these set in a temperature controlled and humidity controlled condition that they store them in. So that's their way of assuring that when they go to get a truckload of these out of military stores to pass out to troops, given their shelf life condition, they're going to be, ready to rock and roll and be eaten. Of course, that's why the military is so strict on their pack dates and their inspection dates, and the Tti sticker is something that they rely on heavily to monitor these things, because nobody wants rotten, spoiled food, especially the troops, how they've been out, in firefights and stuff like that. They risk their life every day trying to keep us free. And obviously it helps make it to where we can do stuff like this. So when they get a chance to sit down and eat, they don't want to have to worry if their food is going to be rotten, or is the food going to prepare right, is drinks going to be able to mix right and stuff like that. They want to be able to just sit down, open up their MRE, heat their meal up, mix their drinks, and have their meal and get their energy without any problems. And that's what the whole thing's about. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's good that they go the extra mile to make sure these are good. I'm sorry, I got off work. I work night shift, so this is kind of like an early morning deal. I can't find anywhere on here. It did say somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Well, I can't find it now, unless it's here. Maybe it's on the bottom. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. I forgot about this bottom. Yeah. This is what I'm saying about how tough these cases are to hold these meals. Right here it says guaranteed bursting test, 425 pounds. That means that, of course, you can put 425 pounds on this box and it'll pretty well hold it. To me, that don't sound like much, but to me, you think of a cardboard box and how normally it don't take much to crush a cardboard box with, that's pretty heavy duty cardboard to be able to withstand that kind of weight. But that's what they make it for. I mean, they make these boxes so tough to, ensure the integrity of the MREs inside. But, yeah, that's what that's about. And when I say these are kind of hard to open up, if you're not used to opening these up, it is exactly that. I mean, it is so. I mean, you can get into it, but I thought when I first started opening, I thought, man, I'm just going to have to get the knife out and cut the top of the box off. But you don't want to do that, because what you do is you risk puncturing your MRE bags inside if you use a knife. So whatever you do, don't use a knife to open these cases up. You are definitely going to have to just put some raw finger strength into it and peel these open. You don't want to compromise your meals inside. And these cases aren't cheap. They're not really that expensive, but they're not that cheap neither. I mean, by the time you pay for it and you wait for the shipping for it to come in, you don't want to compromise them all right off the bat trying to open the case up with a knife. So yeah, you're just gonna have to use your muscle and peel the layers open and get through the glue. Alrighty, I'm gonna try and cut this video off now. I think I've pretty much went over everything that I can think of as far as what I've learned about ordering a case of these things. Alrighty, I think that's going to do it. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see some reviews of this case, plus reviews of many, many more. MREs, rations. I plan on trying to get a hold of some foreign country rations and expanding the realm and seeing what foreign countries have to offer. I want to get a German EPA. Probably the first foreign ration I do is going to be a German EPA. Since I can read German and understand German a little bit, I don't have to use a translator for that too much. So I think that'll be the easiest foreign country ration to do first off. So, alrighty, I'll catch y'all in the next video, and we'll see you very soon.